Kyler Murray's hurt. So that means Colt McCoy is presumably going to start for this team. And I would, if you would have asked me, Bo, like, where does Colt McCoy rank? Not in quarterbacks, but like the hierarchy of backups. Because we know PFF put him like one of the worst starting quarterbacks in the NFL, which that's fine. It's not going to make me upset. But like backup wise, I would say probably top 20 backup, right? Probably top 17, 18 backup. Well, some folks say, no, that's way too high. And we think he is ass.
I saw this list. It was Pro Football Network put this out.
Oh, nice.
I can't wrap my head around this, but this is the Pro Football Network at PFN 365. Who are the NFL's best backup quarterbacks, and what bucket do they fall in? Here's your clipboard holder. Exciting but inconsistent bucket 1. That's your, I guess, quintessential backup. Bus driver bucket 2. Young unknown bucket 3, or Carson Wentz is bucket 4. And if you're wondering where Colt McCoy landed on this list, as Johnny kind of said, he'd probably be, in his opinion, in the top half. No. You got to go all the way to the end of this list. And the third to last, Colt McCoy at 30th overall, only behind Mason Rudolph, who fell out of favor in Pittsburgh, and Matt Corral out of Ole Miss, who missed his entire rookie season because of a knee injury, is 32nd overall. Colt McCoy. I mean, this is astounding to me. Like, I can't believe this list. I'm not asking for Colt McCoy to be at the top of this or even top 5, but to put him 30th and to put some of these just shitbox quarterbacks ahead of Colt McCoy, it continues to show that nobody's paying attention. Carson Wentz is 29th. He's ahead of him. Teams won't touch Carson Wentz. Zach Wilson hasn't played football in the same stratosphere as Colt McCoy in his first 2 seasons in the NFL. Drew Lock, who's ahead of him at 27th, didn't even sniff the field last season. I know Geno Smith emerged, but he couldn't even come close to him in the preseason. No, Drew Lock isn't even close to that. Maybe Cooper Rush, I'll give him a maybe. Kyle Trask is, or I misspoke there, but it's Kyle Trask. He is Kyle Trash. That pretty much makes my point. Skylar Thompson, another guy, I'll give a maybe. Okay. PJ Walker was a great story, but he fell apart, not nearly as consistent as Colt. Joshua Dobbs, sure. Sam Ellinger, hell no. Blaine Gabbert could be, but he hasn't played since his Cardinal days. Malik Willis is garbage. Jared Stidham hasn't shown it. Hendon Hooker has been injured, hasn't played a game at the NFL level, and he's almost the same age as Colt. I have to double check that. You got Mike White, might have been the best quarterback for the Jets last season. Bailey. So this is interesting. 15 through 7. This is the most absurd run of the entire list. Bailey Zappi, Mitchell Trubisky, Marcus Mariota, Tyrod Taylor, Davis Mills, Teddy Bridgewater, who's unemployed, Sam Darnold, Tyler Huntley. Couldn't win with Baltimore. Gardner Minshew, all less maybe delicious ham sandwiches than Colt McCoy. Like, all of them. I can say that definitively. Jameis Winston, sure. Will Levis, Trey Lance, fuck no. Andy Dalton, LOL. And then Jacoby Brissett, probably, but just because he's younger.
These are interesting buckets. The Pro Football Network, you're in the shit bucket, because this is just one of the worst things I've seen since Will Brinson put out his quarterback tiers. Did you partner with Will from CBS to put this together? Poor Colt McCoy. Listen, I did not want to come on the show and defend Colt McCoy today. I think he's too old. He's broken. I don't want him starting for my team this year, but I'll be completely objective, transparent. Like, this is a joke. Like, Colt McCoy won games in the NFL the last 2 years. Zach Wilson, I think, is going to be out of football in about 18 months, right? He's got an opportunity to be one of the biggest busts in recent memory. Carson Wentz may be done with football. Who knows? Nobody's touched Carson Wentz. If Colt McCoy was cut tomorrow, teams would bring him in just to say, hey, come in, be a good soldier. Because I think what this is trying to do, I'm not making excuses for this list. I think it's like, who's a backup with upside that could come in and, like, if they caught fire, could lead you. And it's like, that's not what a backup is right now. It's like, can a guy win like 2 or 3 games? That's what Colt McCoy can do. He can come in and be a placeholder, a pinch hitter, while your starter's coming back from injury. But it's like, they're looking at this. Hendon Hooker might be a starter at some point in the NFL. We don't know yet, though. You're basing that all on Tennessee tape. Tennessee Volunteers. One season, right? Marcus Mariota legitimately quit on the Falcons last year. Said, they were like, we're going to move on to Desmond Ridder. He's like, I quit the team. And they're like, above Colt McCoy.
That's what you want from your backup, right? Hey, you're
I
a backup.
quit. I'm out of here.
No, thanks.
I mean, Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, I would. They're about the same player. He and Colt McCoy are about the same player. I mean, how many of these guys would I want over Colt McCoy? God, it's like digging through the trash. It's like going through the trash in your backyard, and you're looking for something edible here. I mean, Jacoby Brissett, we all wanted because of Drew Petzing, but like we've looked at some advanced metrics this offseason, Bo. He's fine. I mean, he'll probably get a run on play, but they're going to start Sam Howell. So I don't want Andy Dalton. Trey Lance is a mega butt. What has Trey Lance done? He hasn't done anything. He's third string. He's not even he's the backup to Sam Darnold. This isn't the third string power rankings. Will Levis is going to be a huge bust. We already talked about that. Jameis will be fun. Heineke's interesting. Minshew, they should have thrown him a bone. Come on. This is such a dumb list. Get out of here. Like we have reached the peak of the mountaintop for off-season stupidity with these lists recently. Can we put them in a bonfire and be done with them?
I think it's hilarious that the backup quarterback rankings, and you point out that Marcus Mariota was made backup, and he just said, I'm fucking quitting. There's no way. I'm not even going to accept your backup
13th overall. He's got moxie. We love
right.
Remember those years at Oregon? Yeah, let's put him 13th.
Mitchell Trubisky he can't do anything at the NFL level. Hasn't he proven like he can't do anything at all? And they're going to say, oh, he's ahead of Colt McCoy. He's 3-3 as a starter in the last 2 seasons. And they're going to have Drew Lock, who he might does he even have 3 wins to his resume in his NFL career? Zach Wilson probably doesn't, right? I mean, Kyle Trask has not seen the field. He is, I will be shocked if he wins out in this brutal quarterback competition in Tampa Bay. This is, I just like we've been pointing out, like, the national media is just not paying attention to the Cardinals. They just threw Colt McCoy on there just because they had to have somebody from the Cardinals on this list.
That's fine. It's like I don't need recognition for Colt McCoy. Like we're not going to sit here and pound the table for him. By the way, Blaine Gabbert is legitimately one of the worst draft picks in modern NFL history. And without Bruce Arians, he is not an NFL player. He got enshrined with Bruce Arians and the Tom Brady gravy train, and then and is going to ride that into the sunset. And God love him, he was drinking White Claws with Brady at that Super Bowl parade, and he has made that into a career. He is an awful player. He's just so bad without Bruce Arians. Colt McCoy won games in the NFC West on the road with Cliff Kingsbury. Think about that for a second. Without DeAndre Hopkins,
right?
Went into Seattle and into San Francisco through multiple touchdowns with Cliff Kingsbury and beat Kyle Shanahan and Pete Carroll. Nobody else on this list did that. And I don't want Colt McCoy to start for my team this September, but those are facts.
Yeah. Sean, you got something?
I know, aren't Will Levis and Malik Willis not both on the Titans right now?
Right.
They both are.
That's why this list is dumb.
Right. And one more point. I mean, Gabbert, I'm back in his Cardinals days, and I remember local media trying to really spit shine that turd and tell me that he was going to, Bruce Arians, the king of hyperbole, said he's the best third string quarterback in the league, which I mean, I love Bruce. My God, I remember Blaine Gabbert I was covering the team at the time, and they were playing in the Hall of Fame game. So the team had 5 preseason games, Johnny, and Blaine Gabbert was given the starting nod in the Hall of Fame game. And he was years into his NFL career after being the 10th overall selection in Jacksonville and busting there and acting like starting in the Hall of Fame game was an honor. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like that game, that should be reserved for somebody who's never played in the NFL before. Like you're starting in that game because they don't want a single thing to happen to Carson Palmer or Drew Stanton.
It's great, isn't it? You were drafted 11th overall by the Jags to save their franchise, and you imploded. And Colt McCoy was a 3rd round pick of the Browns and had a really nice NFL career. I think it's going to end this year. I think this is going to be his last year in the NFL. Clayton tune me up. I want to see it. We're 2 weeks away from training camp. I want that. I will try to manifest it. Bo will be the wet blanket because he'll be at practice every day, and he'll see that Clayton Tune right now is not as good as Colt McCoy, but we're all trying to manifest that into reality because that is interesting.